6 out of the 8 stocks I gave you last week were able to go in the green. And the overall beat the market as Nasdaq fell 2.43%. And NIO in the $1,000 challenge went on a small rally going all the way up to 549. Is it still in the $1,000 challenge, and what is the current situation? What are the 8 stocks this week? Well, you have to stay tuned, and you are listening to the StockInvest.us podcast, Trading Tips with Jim. And if you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe to it right now and press the like button if you like the podcast. It's been hard markets all over a month and more, red week after red week, but everything is flashing buy signals. Maybe hard to understand, so how can bad weeks like this flash buy signals? The amount of buy signals is super low, and when this happens, usually you get into a situation where it's a good opportunity to buy. And I have done that. Just like I said in the portfolio, I have increased my exposure into the market over the last few weeks, and I am actually doing very well as we speak, and I believe I will continue to do very well. I have increased my exposure in the stock market from some 30%. Now I'm sitting well above 60%. May there be a red week ahead of us? Yes, can easily be a red week. As I told you last week and the weeks before, we are in for a volatile ride where markets will go up and down until they find a direction. But looking at the chart, and I will show the chart in the YouTube version of the podcast, markets are really, especially Nasdaq, is really oversold. And in the system which I built to detect good buying opportunities, it's been flashing one buy signal after the other. And of course, I trust my own systems. That is why I have increased my exposure in to the market. But there is a new week. What will happen this week? That's the thing. We will try to figure out. Will it be a green or will it be a red week? I've been wrong for the last 2 weeks because I thought that we already would be at the bottom. But Nasdaq has said just keep pushing down at 243% last week, and the week before was even worse with down 3.45%. But it is the major stocks that is pushing down. Several other stocks are actually finding bottoms, pushing upwards, and this is where I invest my money. And so far I've been correct about that. And before talking a little bit more about the market, I told you I would go in EVs. Actually, I've been saying that over the last, 8 months plus, and I've been buying slowly more and more into EV. And I argued why, because everyone seems to be negative about EV, while the infrastructure and everything else is getting better. I have used the chance to buy, and especially NIO. I've been buying NIO in several steps, and now I have a very, very nice average. But on Friday, we will know how the quarter results for NIO will be. Before that, we will have XPEV tomorrow. So we'll already start to see how the quarter results goes for these 2 companies. But I am a great believer in EV being a good place to be. Find a good company. Take Tesla, for instance, down 50% from a 52-week high. And of course, I just bought Tesla. Will it be a good investment? I don't know, but if you keep following this podcast, you will know, because I tell you exactly how things move on. So, EV is still one of my top tips. You have to be a little bit patient because we do not know exactly when things start to go up. Before that, they can easily continue to go down. And as you know, we bought NIO in the $1,000 challenge, where I tried to grow $1,000 as fast as I can for $5.10. We'll get back to that, the $1,000 challenge, at the end of the podcast. By the way, currently sitting at $2,802.71. So what is happening in the week ahead of us? Well, there is not many big news. There will be retail sales numbers coming out today before the markets open, and it's expected to grow by 0.6%. These can set a little tone for the start of the market, because a lot of people are talking that we are in a slight recession, but we will see how retail sales numbers come in. Then tomorrow we will have some import price index numbers. These are expected to go down from 0.3% to 0.1%, and XPEV, as I said, will have quarter results. Wednesday will be maybe a little bit more interesting, but everyone expects Fed to keep the interest rates unchanged. Fed could easily have reduced interest rates because everything is pointing in the right direction. Consumer price index numbers came down last week to 0.2, beating the expectations. And if we look at a big item in the inflation basket, energy and especially oil, they are going down. Last week, to be more accurate, oil was actually up $1, but in general, oil is in a falling trend, and I expect this to continue, causing energy costs to be lower, causing production costs to be lower. Anything that is related to logistics, and you, the end consumer, will win in that game. Anyway, we will hear what Fed say, and that is maybe the most important thing on Wednesday. What will Fed actually say? What are the commentary of these things? They have signaled that they will stay stubborn on the interest rates, not lowering it, but my bet, and you heard it first here in this podcast, Trading Tips with Jim, I believe interest rates will be cut hard and fast, starting already somewhere in May, in my opinion. I got right about interest rates going up long before it happened, and now my bet will go down. On Wednesday we'll also have General Mills, we will have Nike, and we will have a company called General Mills and a company called Five Below with quarter results. The quarter result season is slowly coming to an end, so the market will not be pushed as much from quarter results. Thursday is jobless numbers, and these are not expected to be anything particular, while Micron will have quarter results expected to move 4.11% plus minus 4.11% for Micron, and also Nike will have. Friday will be a little bit more interesting for me, because then Klarna will have their quarter results released, and NIO. And by the way, NIO is expected to move 10.8% on the quarter results, plus minus 10%. If markets are disappointed about what the quarter results, expect almost 11% fall. Reaction, it can easily tick back up during the day, but you can expect the wide range of movement to be plus minus 10.8%. And if you're able to get it correct, you can easily make very good money. So that's the week ahead of us. On top of this, we see that P stocks are getting closer to a final round. We're getting more information. Will it be doable? Will it happen? And these things are arguing for a calmer world. Yes, there are tariff talks and tariff scares and everything, but my saying in this is that we are getting back on track in the world. World is slowly getting a better place, and I think there will be a very, very nice upturn in the western part of the world over the next, maybe as much as 10 years. We will see. Before that, a lot of things will happen. We still have EU and all of these things, but in general, I think there is a good chance to make money. You know, I sold my gold just around 2,950 plus, to be exact. The euro was very high. I live in a euro country, so I sold out. Sold out when euro was 103 to the dollar. Now the euro is 108 to the dollars. So even though gold actually went up, passing $3,000, I still have done the right choice. Will it continue to be the right choice? I don't know. I bought gold at 1,600 as a hedge to what I saw as bad times coming ahead 4 years ago. I was very correct, and I was able to secure an insane nice profit in the gold trade. Few of you are asking me, so what about gold now? Well, gold can easily go to 3,500. That may very well happen. There is a strong push towards gold, but I think the top reason buying gold is out. Gold ending the week, by the way, by $2,995 after being up $80 or 2.6% last week. I believe the argument why to buy gold is less, and that is why I sold out my position on gold. And to give you a little scope, some 4+ years ago I saw the direction where we are headed. It was a very easy thing to read. So I lowered my different positions. I increased, for instance, in gold, and that is how I think you should do. Even if you just have a very small trading account. I started with a very small trading account, and everyone has to start somewhere. Try to look at the long lines. Be patient. Try to pick the right trends. If you're able to do that, things will grow bit by bit. Some of the best I ever done was going into funds, index funds mainly, but picking the right market. So for instance, many years, we are going back to the early 2000s, I knew, or at least I had a feeling, that tech industry would be the right place, and especially in Asia. So I invested into Asian tech index fund, which gave such a super return. And I've been in and out of different funds for longer trades based on what I believe will happen next. So try to figure out what you think will happen in the markets and place your bets accordingly. But I will give you 8 stocks today which are flashing buy signals from a new system which I am building, coming up very shortly. Before doing that, let's just quickly look at the amount of buy and sell signals across all the different exchanges, because we know this is a good telltale sign of what will happen next. If I didn't mention, Dow Jones fell by 3.7%. The magnificent 7 stocks like Google, Meta, Amazon, etc. have fallen down 20% from their high. All of this is a total natural correction. They had very high PE ratios. Now we're just getting back to normal levels. Many of them are actually starting to become good opportunities to buy again. But what about the signals? Well, here are the signals across all the stocks that we analyze. It still remained the same like last week. 24% is giving buy signals. We're talking upwards to 60,000 stocks in this calculation. If we go to Nasdaq, it is as low as it was last week at 8%. Last time I made a chunk of money, and I mean a chunk of money. Nasdaq was at 7. I got all in and I raked a super profit from it. Now there is only 8% buy signals, and as I told you last week, I am using this opportunity actually over the last 2 weeks. Now I'm increasing my position. Still at 8, I think it is a super opportunity. But here comes a warner and a slight disclaimer. When things are this low, the fear is very high, meaning that you can easily get into a 3% fall day. Easy, even 4%. And if I remember correct, Nasdaq was down at 4% last week in on a single day. This is the typical things of this market. By the way, I use these chances to buy. I buy when things are overly done, either up or down. I buy if it's way too low, and I sell if it's way too optimistic. And I do a few intraday trades, not much. New York Stock Exchange still the same like last week, 20, while London is slightly creeping upwards to 23% buy signals. We have 28% buy signals in Frankfurt, while Tokyo is at 38. And Shenzhen, China having good because China is giving some incentives in the market. 54% of the stocks in China are flashing buy signals. And maybe if you follow me a long time, you know that before Christmas in late autumn, I did some China trades because China was down at 7, and I did exactly what I'm telling you now. That was a buying opportunity of the life, and I was very, very satisfied with the results. In and out for just a few weeks. Now China at 54% is a little high in my opinion, while National Stock Exchange of India is down at 7. They are struggling, but I believe now is a good time to invest also in India, if you can, of course. 15 minutes, we will not make this a long podcast. Just remember, subscribe, like, if you like it, of course. And if you don't like it, just push the dislike button. It is absolutely fine. Because there is one thing in this podcast that I tried over all the years is let's be transparent about things and not play the upside game too much. Let's just be realistic and expect to do a lot of mistakes. I do a lot of mistakes, but from mistakes we can learn. And I've done so over the years, learned. And one thing I learned is that day trading, for instance, requires too much attention. I do not have the time to do all the day trading. And when you try to do day trading, not having the time for it, you will just end up losing because you have to be ultra focused. In all of this mess and over so many years, I tried to do my best to help you, the common trader, by creating tools. So we have StockInvest.us, which is a project I started many years ago, brought it to Lithuania to build it more professionally. And I know a lot of you are users of the system. On top of this, I build a lot of other things as well, and new products all the time, trying to figure out the golden formula. It's a long job, but it's some big passion of mine and ongoing. The 8 stocks which I'm going to tell you about now are picked from a new system which I am building. And I just let you know what is happening. We started the first one 3 weeks ago on a bad note. Only 2 out of 6 stocks were able to go in green during the week. And by the week, I mean, I give you the stock now. I tell you which stock it is. And let's say that we buy it on opening today, on the Monday. I just measure from Monday to Friday and the close price on Friday, because we cannot do all these things without on the top, etc. Then it would be much better results if we did that, or we added stop losses and etc. You should have stop losses, by the way. This is just an open, very open, easy thing to follow. I try to make it as easy as I can, but you have to put your stop losses on the stocks, of course. But for the results that I will read you, I do not put any stop losses. And I do not sell during the week. It's just from Monday open price till Friday close price. These are the results. So 3 weeks ago we had only 2 out of 6 stocks. The week after got a little better. Last week was half, 4 out of 4, but we did better than, not last week, but the week before that, we did still better than the market. Nasdaq was down 3.45%. This, the 8 stocks that I gave you was down 2.93%. Stocks where half of them actually went in green. Last week, I gave you 8 stocks. I told you that the following companies are flashing buy signals. Doesn't mean, remember, this is a system being built. I tweak it a little bit every week. I try to learn the system to be smarter using a lot of different technologies. But SME Group was one company that's been with for a few weeks. Then it was Huron Consulting Group, Opco Health, Root Inc., Chromadex Corporation, Palomar Holdings, Royal Gold Inc. and Tucos. These were the 8 stocks I told you flash buy signals last week. And for a week should have a high chance of doing good. 6 out of the 8 stocks were able to go in the green. And the end result is down 0.5%. Nasdaq fell 2.43%. But here are the individual results. SME Group increased by 1.49% during the week. Huron only 0.09%, while Opco Health fell 9.2%. Root Inc. was absolutely a good choice because it went up 14.12%. Chromadex up 0.5%. Palomar Holdings went up 4.8%. Royal Garden Inc. fell by 0.36%, and Tuco's was the worst of them all, down 16.28%. I tweaked the system just a little bit. It was too busy week last week, so I was not able to work as much on the system as I wanted, but I tweaked it a little bit. Here are 8 stocks for the week ahead of us. SME Group still remains because it's still flashing buy signals, currently sitting around $258, ticker SME. SayLab or SLAB, ZLAB, is also flashing buy signals. It's a biotech company, by the way, at $38, around, sitting currently at $38. Then there is SemiLEDs, which is in the semiconductor industry. Ticker is LEDS, flashing buy signals, currently sitting at $1.8. Ukta Inc., which is a software company, software/infrastructure company, ticker OKTA, sitting around $112, is flashing buy signals. Chromadex, which was in last week's list as well, currently still flashing buy signals. So Chromadex in biotech sector, CDXC is in this week's pick. Then there is Vertex Pharmaceuticals, which is a biotech company, sitting at $504. VRTX, flashing buy signals. We have Gossamer, which also is a biotech signal, GOSS. Gossamer currently sitting at $1.45 about. And the last one, Interdigital, which is a software application company at price around $217 right now, IDCC. I don't say that all of these are good. Let's say that we were to buy 8 stocks, for sure we would not buy 4 companies in the biotech sector. That is way too much. That is not how you should play your game. Put all the eggs in the same basket. No. We have to be more diverse than this. So this is not like a good portfolio. It's just 8 stocks which flash buy signals. Some of them are relatively small companies. That increases the risks. We do not like that. So in general, you will even go up on liquidity. All of this we will work out. You just have to follow the podcast series. Again, remember to subscribe and like if you like the podcast. Only way to help it grow. And if it grows, you remain sure that it will continue to be. Otherwise, I will still always have to consider if to continue the podcast series or not. So the 8 tickers for the week ahead of us is CME, SME Group, it's SLAB, SayLab, it is LEDS, SemiLEDs, it's Okta Inc., which is OKTA, and then there is Chromadex Corporation, CDXC, it's Vertex Pharmaceuticals, VRTX, and then it's Gossamer, GOSS, Gossamer, and Interdigital, IDCC. These are the 8 stocks that we will follow. I'll tell you next week exactly how it went. Will it be as good as last week? Hopefully. I hope that we can get into a situation where we really have a super buy signal list and you are following it all live. I will not get into details how I do these things because that will be a podcast for those who are technically interested. But let's say I put a lot of things into the mix and trying to then give a situational picture in very, very short time, medium time and long time. And I do this for a minute, meaning intraday trading, and I do it also for long trading. The goal is to be able to do better picks of stocks, and we'll just see how it goes. While remember to try out the chatbot at stockinvest.us. We are keeping the progress, making it smarter and smarter all the time. You can ask it tons of questions if you like, and whenever new things are made, they often find their way first to the chat booth. One thing remains, and that is the $1,000 challenge, where I bought NIO. That's the last purchase I bought into the $1,000, starting with $1,000, bought into different stocks. Then a long time ago got into NIO at $5.10, and that was not the best choice at the time. It was up a little, then down a little, up a little. We've been down all the way to $4, currently sitting at $4.90. We're under the buying price of 5.10 with a loss of 3.92%, and I just said that currently sitting at 4.9 mean that I still am in NIO. Despite NIO was up, I think it was Wednesday, at $5.49 on a good run. Something is telling me that NIO is the right place to be, and in such a volatile period where everything goes up and down too fast, I just wanted to stay steady. Currently sitting in NIO, and will sit in NIO. I will let you know when NIO is out of the portfolio, but I think there is a huge upside in NIO. If markets crashes because they are at very low buy signals, so we can get into a frantic sell-off, or quarter results are extremely bad, expect NIO to fall back. My guess is 70-30 chance that NIO will have a good week. That is my bet. I personally put in quite much money into the bet. We will see if I'm wrong, and hopefully I am, because it's always nicer to make than to lose money. And that is what I hope for you. I hope that you will have a much greener end than the beginning of the week, that your portfolio will be much greener by the end of the week. I hope that you will just have a super week, and of course, I hope that you will be back next week when you will hear how it went with NIO, the 8 stocks, and what I think will happen in that week. Until then, just have a super week. Bye.
Welcome to StockInvest.us Stock Analysis. We remind you that trading involves a high risk of losing money, and that you should speak with a financial advisor before buying or selling any securities. You should not base your investment decision upon StockInvest.us. By using the information, you agree and are held liable for your own investment decisions.